My name is Jack and I'm 51. I'm a singing teacher, a blogger, and a parent and a wife. I have both male and female expression, sense, whatever. It's a bit fluid. Sometimes it goes one way, sometimes the other, depending on the situation. I identify as genderqueer. Gender fluid is kind of also appropriate because I do move. However, I hate that term because it sounds like bodily fluids, so I use genderqueer. Yes, I think that they provide a shortcut to explaining yourself to others, although sometimes they have no idea what the label means. And I think it's important to tease out within that label, because it's such a broad category like genderqueer, people have different ways of expressing that. I was 100% female and female expressing until I had my second baby, and then all sorts of things seemed to change within me, and at one point I felt like I wanted to wear male clothes, so I started wearing male clothes, and I decided to change back, and I started having panic attacks when I was wearing female clothes. And so then I went off to explore what that meant to me, and then I started to dress fully as a male, and then exploring whether I would want to transition, and then decided no, that wasn't really what I wanted, and sort of came back to the half-half, which seems to be suiting me. And yeah, the gender expression part of me, I got a bit bored with the male clothing, and although I felt more male than I was, I started to dress female and just feel like I was in drag. I decided to embrace that. So that's sort of my little journey. Well, I dress. I suppose my dressing is one of my biggest parts that I express, how I show what's inside of me, and so I try now to incorporate both the male and the female aspects. For example, having a very short male haircut and wearing long dangly earrings at the same time. Wearing yeah, just a combination. Yes, I've also changed my glasses to a more male type of glasses, and I've changed my name. My name is now the male version of my name. What else does it mean to me day to day? I often feel, well, on the side of the name, this means that if I'm communicating with people over the phone or online, often when they meet me in person, they don't realise, and that is a bit of a shock. But I enjoy that side of it. It helps me to play with gender and explain to people that they don't always have to be two boxes. It also means that because I'm choosing to look more feminine, that I'm often feeling like my gender is invisible, which is quite frustrating. My wider family, they don't really talk about it much. We don't discuss. I sort of came out to individuals. I didn't sort of make a big announcement. I just sort of talked to different people in my family, so that most of them know. But it's sort of like it didn't really even happen. Although, so there wasn't a big deal with everybody upset or anything. But nobody talks about it. They are slowly coming around to using Jack, and within my friends and my closer family, my husband is reasonably supportive, although he says he still sees me as female, and but he and my children are happy to sort of discuss gender issues, and we're quite open talking about things like that. I changed my wedding ring, and he went along with that and engraved something inside it to make it our special. So I changed it to become more masculine. So yeah, I think sometimes I feel a bit invisible also at home, and sometimes when I put my foot down or make a comment, it can be it's a bit tricky sometimes, but otherwise it's pretty good. Yeah, that would be probably my issues, what I've just, the invisibility, and yeah, sometimes even I feel like, is this really me? And although I've spent many years, like first off I decided it was becoming too hard, and maybe I was just imagining it all, and so I just push it all aside, but somehow it always kept bubbling back. So I'm just leaving it now, and I realise that it is me, and even though other people around me don't always accept that or treat me that way, and I feel a little invisible, I just got to get on with it and enjoy who I am, and enjoy playing with the expression of gender, which I quite like, because I'm a person who likes to dress and perform, and I kind of feel a little bit like my day-to-day expression is part of my artwork, and is a little performance. So sometimes I do look a bit costumey. Yeah. So I think that's probably my main thing. Yeah. So the other thing that I'm finding sometimes is that the whole invisibility thing, when I'm in a group, a trans group, sometimes they're a bit confused about where I sit, and I feel like I'm always having to explain myself, because I'm not obviously one way or the other. Yeah. And I do seem to slot into the female role when I'm at home. Yeah. Be prepared for lots of explanations. People will be confused, and yeah, what I did was just go online, go to the library, try and find books, talk to people, find groups, support groups, go to counselling, read autobiographies. Those were the sort of ways that helped me to see there are other people like me, and it was quite okay, and it wasn't an odd thing. And then slowly you come around to being able to accept yourself. Then you need to really let people know if you want to, and stand firm. That's the bit that I find tricky. But also realise that it's okay to change. You say, I'm like this, but if you feel like you want to change and go elsewhere, become a different label, whatever, that's fine. It's not a big deal, even if you've already announced that. Yeah, just have fun.